Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are in the world or what time you happen to be viewing this. This is the Ernie Meyer Talk Show about the business opportunities and free information. And also today is about the leadership that I promised you in Decision Making Part 2. And I will tell you a true story about when I was in corporate America. I was actually a acting plant manager, but before I get into that, I want to tell you about how I kept in shape besides using martial arts and how I do it today. I am sponsored by the eFit Mini Gym that is portable. It is able for you to be able to take this anywhere you want. You can fit anywhere just about, instead of a small closet, of course, but you know, 2x2 gym for under $200. And if you buy it today, down below, you'll see a $20 coupon, Ernie 20, that you will put in at checkout when you buy it today. So let me get back to my program and my decision-making system that I use in corporate America. It happened to be a Monday, and the plant manager looked at me and says, Ernie, whatever you do, don't let this customer down. I promised them product by Friday, and we are on the teetering point with them. If we don't get product by them by Friday, we will be out of business with them, and that'll be it. Not that this was a big client, but their product was expensive, and it was a big part of our bottom line. So he couldn't have been in an airplane more than 10 feet off the ground, and the person from the foundry, the supervisor, comes in and says, well, this particular line is down, and it won't be up until a week from Wednesday. And I said, oh, no. I don't know to this day if it was sabotage or what it was. Who cares? I said, what happened? They said, well, the pre-turn machine that turns this part actually failed. It broke the crankshaft, and this part that we get has broken as well. And you can only get it from Connecticut, and it's going to take a week and a half based on our past performance. And I said, wait a minute. I said, first of all, what does it take to get that shaft made? Well, our tool department will take care of that, but it takes 4 days because the guy in second shift will not and refuses to work on foundry stuff that we give to him. He doesn't like the foundry. I said, well, wait a minute, one question at a time, one thing at a time. I said, let's see if that part is available in Massachusetts or wherever it is, Connecticut, and let's get that thing out here. So I call up, and the guy comes back, manager, and he says, well, we have that by out there, and it'll be here a week from Wednesday. I said, that's not good enough. I said, if it's sitting on the shelf there today, put it on a plane and get it here tonight. I want it in Denver. And he looked at me and he says, that's impossible. Do you know how much that'll cost? And I says, I don't care. I was charged with getting that piece and that part up and running and making sure that this customer had castings by Friday. And I said, I don't care what it costs. Get it out here. I'll take the responsibility. So the guy says, well, yeah, we'll get it to you. He says, they called him back. They got it on a plane. They said, well, it'll be in Denver tonight. I said, well, how long will it take to get down here to Pueblo? Well, it'll be down here by Thursday or Friday. I said, that's not good enough. I said, send a guy up there to meet that thing at the plane. He says, who are we going to send? We don't have anybody. I says, what about the guy that ran that pre-turn machine? He's out of a job. Well, he's a union guy. I said, so what? Is there a law in Colorado against union people not driving? I says, clear it with the union. Pay him, get him up there, get that part taken care of, and get it brought down here to Pueblo now. Well, long story short, that part was here the next day. In the meantime, I went over to the tool department and I asked the guys to work around the clock on this one particular project. And I explained the situation, and they said, well, we won't do it the way that you described it, but we'll do it this way. I said, I don't care, whatever you guys come up with to make it work so that this part can be made in time in 2 days instead of 4, I'll be happy. So I put the ownership in their hands. The person from the foundry yells and screams at the guy in second shift, says, "Why won't you work on my part?" I said, "Will you just shut up and get out of here?" And I looked at him and I says, "Don't let him bother you." I says, "I'll protect you." And I says, "I'll approve any overtime." Long story short, again, by Thursday, we actually had that machine running. And by Friday, we had parts to send them. Not all of them, but we had some. So I called up the customer and I says, "We have X number of parts ready for you on Friday. Will you accept them? And we guarantee we'll have the rest of you on Saturday." And he says, "Yes, we'll accept that." Plant manager comes back on Monday. He says, first thing he says, "Did so-and-so customer get their parts as I promised?" And I says, "Yes." And in comes this flock of other managers, my peers, yelling and screaming, "You know what Ernie did?" He said, "Yeah, he saved us a lot." He says, "He saved my backside quite a bit." So in other words, think outside the box. If you're doing that in your business and everything falls apart and you had a plan on making something work by the end of the week and it fell apart, think outside the box, make it work first, and then go back and say, how will we do this again so it never happens for that reason? And if it does, what plan will we have in place so we don't have to spend thousands of dollars making something work? This is a true story. Well, that sabotage didn't work. And we got the customer, their castings, their problem was solved. And we made our plant manager look like a hero. I don't care who had the credit for it, but I know. Ask me a question. I will not tell you the name of the corporation or the plant. I'll just tell you it was in Pueblo. And it was, wow, 30 some years ago. I would always think outside the box. It's easy for me to say. Anyway, if you like what you heard, if you know of somebody who is struggling right now in making a decision, share this with them. Like, comment, ask me a question. And most of all, please subscribe and share this with anybody. I'll see you again. You can make a living, you can design a life, but I ask you, what have you been feeding your mind? Has it been serving you well?